So we're going to move through a slow flow class. I want to share a poem that I wrote a while ago when I was spending time in Burnaby, and I would go to visit a park that I really liked. And often I would drive out to this park and go to this really specific little spot in the park, and I would sit in this tree. It wasn't like a grand big tree or anything like that. It's actually just a little tiny, kind of a small tree, but near it was a really lovely log. And I would sit on that log, and sometimes I would bring my little guitar with me and I'd write some music. Sometimes I'd bring my speaker and I would just, or my headphones, and I'd listen to music. And I came up with this poem when I was there. It's called Patience Under a Tree. Getting to know something takes time. Every day I could sit under the same tree, and not in a lifetime could I know its whole story. So we indeed have, we have to take time to get to know certain things in our life. Like even the practice of yoga is like that. You could come and do this same sequence. You could come and do the same pose in different orders and different ways. And it always can show you something different. Well, especially if you're willing to be patient with it and look at it and show up for it. Sometimes if you're, like in my experience, when I'm kind of looking to get something from it, is when I actually don't really get much. And then when I have an opportunity to kind of approach the practice in a really patient way, and it doesn't happen super frequently for me. Sometimes it takes a while for my body to actually slow down into the yoga practice and do it in a way that is really felt in a slow and nice way for my body. So I really invite you to do that tonight, is just to get to know your body in a patient, in a slow way, and we'll move through some flow movements. So if you are following along with that playlist that I shared, go ahead and press play now. I'm just going to do the ceremonial removal of the socks, and then we'll get up and move over to the yoga mat. I'm going to press play. So the first thing we're going to do is move it right into downward facing dog. So I just want you to plant your palms down at the front of the yoga mat and step the feet back at the back of the mat with the hips kind of lifted upwards into the air. And I see we had a new friend join, so I'm just going to quickly share the playlist with them just in case they want to use it and follow along. There's no pressure, by the way. So you're in downward facing dog, palms pressing down, hips lifting up into the air. And I want you to just softly bend both of your knees. Just so there's a little bit of a bend in the knees, providing the low back the ability to lengthen a little bit more. If you don't want to hold down dog right now, I suggest you just lower the knees down to the floor and just hold tabletop for a moment. But let's stay in down dog for a bit. Just notice the breath flowing in and out through the nostrils as you press those palms down to the ground and keep those knees just a little bit bent. You can kind of draw inwards with the core muscles and lift the hips up towards the ceiling, almost as if you were pulling your hands and feet closer together, and then that kind of lifts the hips upwards, kind of from the underside of the hips. Let's hold that for just one more breath in and out. Holding a pose can be tough. Lift both of your heels on your next inhale. Both heels lift up. Exhale, now bend both knees and just kind of slowly tiptoe your way up to the top of the mat. Again, everything in tonight's class, there is no rush. Just walking up to the top. Hands to shins once you're up there. Inhale, lift and lengthen the spine. And then exhale and fold the spine. So let your breath kind of show you the pace. Inhale, reach up. Arms meet above the head as you breathe in. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, diving down to the floor. Bend the knees, bum hinges back. Fingers touch the floor. Maybe. Hands to shins next. Inhale, lift and lengthening the spine as long, as tall as you want. Exhale, bring the palms to the floor. Step your feet back to plank. Once in plank, please lower your knees down and just feel your body kind of brace into those 3 contact points, knees, palms, toes. Take another breath in. And exhale, lower your whole body down to the floor. Baby Cobra, lift your heart up. Inhale, try to press the tops of your feet down. We'll just hold here for just a moment. I want you to try to lengthen the front of your body. So you're getting longer in the stomach, up above the stomach, the chest, into the throat a little bit. Draw your shoulder blades together. And maybe allow the shoulder blades to slide down the back body as you use your palms to lengthen a bit forwards, lifting the heart. And now lower the heart. Use your palms and your knees. So you're actually going to change the way your feet are pressing down. Palms and knees press down, toes curl under, and you're going to push your way back up to tabletop. Nice work. Shift the hips back to child's pose right now. Hips rest back towards those heels or so. Right now, I'm going to leave my toes curled under so that I'm stretching the soles of the feet. Creep the fingers forwards just a little bit more in front of you and feel the arms stretching. On your next inhalation, pull yourself forwards to tabletop position again. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your hips up in the air. Bend the knees a little bit. Let's go again. Lift the heels up, breathe in. Heels lift slow. Exhale, knees bend, walk to the top. Hands to shins, lengthen, lift. Draw the heart upwards. And exhale, fold the spine down. Inhale, reach your arms up now. Stand up tall, connect the palms above you. Exhale, slide your hands down through the heart center and press down like pranayama breathing. Pressing down. Inhale, reach the arms forwards and up, stretching the fronts of the palms. Arms up, look up. Exhale, palms together, slide the hands back down the center, press down. And we're gonna start to bend the knees and dive down, fingertips touch the floor. Hands to shins, inhale, lift and lengthen the spine. Heart draws up. Exhale into flow. Palms down, knees bend, step it back to plank. Take another inhalation. And exhale, knees down, chest and belly down to the ground. Baby Cobra, lift your heart up. Exhale, lower your heart down. Push palms down, lift to tabletop. And let's go back to downward facing dog now. All right, I want you to lift your right leg up into the air. Breathe in. Exhale, draw your knee to your nose, right knee to the nose, and then step through with that right foot so it's anywhere near the hands. Rise up into the fingertips, push your feet down to the floor, and lift your chest up, lift your arms up into the air, Crescent Lunge. Keeping both feet pressing down into the ground. Maybe you can feel that stretch on the front of the left hip a bit there. I definitely can. I'm especially feeling today's flow class after yesterday's workout class. I really worked yesterday, and so today's very welcome to come in and stretch those areas of the body out now. Let's pivot back to Warrior Two. Left heel meets the floor, arms reach apart, looking forwards over the fingertips, lunging forwards, knee over ankle. Hands in comfortable positions, feeling those shoulders, feeling the chest, scanning the body. Let's go to a dancing warrior. The right arm lifts upwards, the left arm lowers downwards. And then flow. Hands windmill down to the floor. Palms plant down in front of or beside the foot. And step back with the right foot now. You're in high plank. Take a full breath in the nose. Exhale, chaturanga. Lower down or use the knees. Inhale, lift upward dog or baby cobra, lift the heart, squeeze the bum, downward facing dog, hips lift up. Kick your left leg up, breathe in. Exhale, draw your left knee to the nose, and then do your best to step that foot through. Rise up onto the fingertips. Start to press both feet into the floor, become anchored, and then rise up with the arms. So kind of a little analogy here is feet as if they were kind of glued to the floor or cemented into the ground, but you're still trying your best to draw them towards one another. We're going to use the underside of the groin. At the same time, squeeze the back bum muscle, and you'll feel that stretch move onto the front right hip. Take a few breaths, and then slowly come back into Warrior Two by pivoting the heel to the ground, opening up the arms, reaching apart, and lunging the knee forwards roughly over the ankle. Again, comfortable palms, comfortable shoulders, finding that space for your body, finding your own way of doing things today. Let's go up to that dancing warrior. So the left arm reaches up, right arm goes back to the thigh. And then we're going to windmill our hands down to the floor. Anyway, they come down, framing the foot, stepping back. You're in plank position. Take a full breath. Exhale, lower down chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or baby cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips back up in the air. A little bend in the knees, palms pressing down. Take a full breath in. And exhale, lower both knees to the floor for just a moment's rest off of those hands. Let's sit back onto the heels. So bum is on top of both heels, heels on top of both toes. You can see the soles of the feet are exposed to the baseboards. And we're lifting tall with the spine. Maybe we can feel quadriceps. Maybe we can feel soles of feet. How I know I did enough in that fitness class yesterday is that even this is starting to feel like Reclining Hero, which is a really nice thing because I can't wait for Reclining Hero because it's coming eventually. So let's take one more breath in. And exhale, leaning back forwards, walking the hands forwards, curling the toes under, downward facing dog, hips back up. And we're going to walk to the top of the mat. Hands to shins, lengthen, lift the spine forwards. And exhale, fold it forwards. Inhale, reach your arms up, breathe deeply, connect the palms above you. And then exhale, we're going to move into eagle on the left-hand side of our body. So the left arm goes under the right arm in this case, and we're going to make our arms into a position that works, grabbing shoulders or wrapping up the palms if you can. Now bending the knees. We're going to lift the left leg over top of the right leg. Feel the part of the body that is kind of in a positivity right now. I had the privilege of being with one of you in a private lesson earlier today, and it really was nice to hear some of your insights. Things like bringing that positivity from one side of the body into the other. You can kind of think about that right here. Let's reach the arms up, breathe in, leg lifts up, breathe in with that. And then send the arms back, send the left leg back to toppling tree. Holding just for 3. Extending the leg, 2. 1. And then we're going to slowly plant that back toe and heel down for warrior one. Reach the arms up and lunge forwards, knee over ankle. You could always bend the elbows. You could take all sorts of different positions to find your comfort. Keep pressing back through the heel. See if you can feel the stretch in the back of the leg. Let's straighten the right leg, inhale. Open up to warrior two, left leg, heel toes back. Arms reach apart, lunge forwards, right knee over ankle. And let's go to that dancing warrior, right arm up, left arm back. Remembering to take a few breaths here in this position. And then you're going to windmill both of your hands down to the floor again. Step back with the right foot. Lower your body down to chaturanga. Lift your heart, baby cobra, or upward dog. Exhale, lower the heart, do a push-up, and come back to downward facing dog. Ready to walk forwards to the top of the mat. And we'll go into the opposite side of that eagle sequence. Once you get up to the top, just rising up in your own way. Awesome. Roll the shoulders a few times. Loosen the shoulders. Loosen the knees and legs. Let's reach up with the arms, breathing in. Lifting the left leg up and over, lifting the right leg up and over the left leg. Squeezing our legs together and then giving ourselves that hug, right arm under left arm, grabbing shoulders. You can also have the elbows down towards your chest a little bit, which can change the sensation in the upper body. And then see if you can give your legs a little squeeze to the center, which sometimes can be felt opening up the outside edge of the legs. Let's rise up, breathe in, arms lift, leg lifts. Exhale, send it back to toppling tree. Right leg extends, straightens, arms reach back. Try to use your right bum muscle to keep the leg elevated and strong and long. Give your front knee a little bend and plant your back toe and heel to the floor. Reach your arms up into the air, warrior one. Lunge the knee forwards over the ankle. Keep pressing back through the back heel, the back pinky side edge of the foot, and strengthen that leg. Little stretch you might feel down the outside edge of the back leg. Let's straighten the left leg, inhale. Open up the arms to warrior two, heel toe back, lunge that knee forwards over the ankle. And look forwards over the fingers if that works for you. One thing that I really love about warrior is that the arm can be anywhere. We can just find that position that works. If reaching really far apart works, great. That's awesome because it can get a nice stretch across the chest for some of us. So we could try all sorts of different things. Let's go to one dancing warrior and then we'll flow. So left arm up, right arm back, and then windmill hands down to the floor. Step back with that left foot. Lower your body down, chaturanga. Knees, chest, belly if you want. Baby cobra, lift your heart up off of the floor. Anchor the feet down, press down. Exhale, lower the heart, press down with the palms to lift your chest. And go back to downward facing dog once again. So your hips are up in the air, lifting up. All right, let's bring the knees to the ground. Walk the knees all the way up to the top of the yoga mat. We're gonna move into that reclining hero stretch. So knees up, toes touch, leaning back onto the fingers. You could also come back onto your palms, fists. I like elbows sometimes too. I'm just gonna be really gentle with it today though, because as I was saying to you earlier in class, my quads are already feeling tired. And with tiredness comes instantaneous stretching. So we're listening to the body, and kind of like the music, we're moving really slowly from note to note. And after spending an adequate amount of time on the palms, you might decide to go down into the elbows. You make those choices as you see fit. One thing that I like to do before I go down to elbows is change how my hands are. So I turn the fingers to face forwards. That way when I bend my elbows, kind of coming down right onto the elbows and forearms. When those bigger sensations come into the body and you're feeling those muscles stretching in ways that you haven't felt in a while, you want to be just present with the breathing and the sensation simultaneously. If the sensation becomes too much, come out of the pose. Two more deep breaths in and out the nose. Inhale. And exhale. One more like that. And start to walk your way back up. First, I tuck my chin to my chest. Then I replace palms where my elbows were. Usually I do one palm first, then the next palm, and slowly walk towards my feet and knees. Then we're going to stand up on the knees. So come right up on those knees and have the hands in the bum. We're going to curl our toes under, which is going to change the sensation that we're feeling in the ankles, in the feet quite a lot. And the hands are still in the bum. We're going to draw the elbows together behind the spine and then lift up through the front of the body and the heart. We can feel the area that we're stretching is kind of in the front, right? So we're going to get stretch on thigh, hip, stomach, chest. And then lastly, into the throat and jaw, even, depending on where you move back and how you lift and reach the neck and head, you can get that sensation to move back or move up into the chin and the jaw. So as you come back into that position, maybe reach back for the feet if that's accessible for you today. And then if you get there, you might let the chin point up to the ceiling and then feel that stretch in the neck. Start to rise back up. Tuck the chin, put your hands to your hips or butt, rise up, shoulders over hips, sit the bum down onto your heels, and we're going to head into pigeon pose. So plant your palms down top of the mat, and we're already pretty much ready to go into pigeon from here. But if you want to go into down dog, you can go there to get into your pigeon. What I'm going to do is just leave my right knee where it is and step the left leg back. I love this entry for pigeon personally. It's a really nice kind of sensation to kind of gauge it in. Then we're going to slowly swivel the shin underneath the pelvis to the left. So our right shin is swiveled to the left. And then relax the left leg back behind you. And then from here, what we really want to be feeling is some sort of stretch in the back side of the thigh and bum area of the right leg. If wanted, we could come down into the elbows or the chest. Try that out. That's where I'm going to go. I can personally feel that the way that I move my body before coming to the yoga practice is very noticeable in the yoga practice. So if I'm, if I don't move a lot before coming to the yoga practice, if I'm pretty sedentary, sometimes the yoga practice initially feels kind of stiff and then it starts to loosen. But sometimes when I have done a lot of work, it feels like when I get into the pose, it feels stiff, but it's not like it's tough to explain exactly what I mean, but it's not like a lazy stiffness. It's like oh, this stretch feels so good stiffness. Maybe that makes sense to you. Let's take one more breath in and out, and then we'll change sides of our pigeon posture here. So to get there, you're going to put your palms or fists down on the floor and lift your chest back up. Curl your back toes under. Go back to tabletop or down dog. All right, from this position, we're going to get into pigeon the same way as we did. So either you go do it how you want to do it, or walk both knees up to the back of the hands kind of thing, up at the top of the mat. We're going to leave the left knee up near the left wrist like we've already got it. Then we're just going to take a step back, a nice long step back with that right leg. Kind of like we're ready to spring into a race, right? Then we're going to swivel, I almost said it again, we're going to swivel the left shin to the right hand side. I think it's because shin and swivel are right next to each other in my sentence, and my brain wants to mix them together. And relax the right leg. And then be your own guide into this, let yourself down or stay up as long as you need to do that for, and then make those choices. As I'm holding this pigeon, I can actually I think I know what movement it was that I'm really feeling today from the fitness class yesterday, and it was squats with weight, like with added weight. But there's also a movement that we did called the clock squats, where you kind of go around the clock with your foot and do different types of lunges, like clock lunges. And they're really hard, and it makes you move your legs in a dynamic way. And so if you want to feel what that's like, you could always hop onto the website and try that class eventually. It's definitely pairing quite well with this class, so. Glide into the pose. Let your breath kind of let you down easy into the posture. I know we could probably stay here for a lot longer, but we got things planned on the menu here. So let's make our way back up onto palms. Pushing up in the hands, curling the right toes under, and going back to tabletop or downward facing dog. You can choose. I'm just going to go into tabletop because I'm going to bring you right down onto the bum now. So come to sit on your bum. Bring your legs forwards in front of you. Lay down all the way onto your back. Extend the left leg out and lift your right leg up in the air and grab behind the hamstring and stretching the hamstring out. We can also feel the ankle, kind of the way we move our ankle will change the stretch. I want you just to very subtly go through a circle of the ankle, and it's really slow so that you can figure out, and it might not be even like a circle. Don't worry if it looks like a circle. Just kind of find that sweet spot of the stretch. Oh, there it is. You can find it, hold it. And let's change sides of this stretch. So we're going to relax the right leg down, still holding the hamstring. Take a short wind relieving as you pull the right leg into the chest. Take a deep breath in and out, and then going to the left side hamstring. So right leg goes out all the way, left leg bends into the chest, grab behind the hamstring, and then extend the foot up to the ceiling. Your leg does not have to straighten, but that is the kind of the motion we're moving towards, is trying to straighten the leg. And then what we might try to do is a very, very slow and subtle change of the ankle positioning. Now in my experience, I have to be very slow with this because it just really drastically changes the stretch in my leg. And if I go too quickly, it doesn't feel good. Let's relax that leg down and hug it in for wind relieving on the same side, so left leg gets hugged into the chest. Take a moment here to breathe a few deeper breaths so the belly rises into the thigh. Let's take a moment to go into double wind relieving, so hugging both knees into the chest, grabbing on top of the shins or behind the legs with the hands held just above the groin. Let's move this into cobbler's pose. So either happy baby or cobbler's pose, you can choose. So happy baby would lift the feet up, grab the outside edges of the feet, and we're going to get a bit of a groin stretch. Cobbler's pose, soles of the feet placed together on the floor, out from our body, below our groin, and then we're going to let the knees move away from each other. I'm going to actually go back to happy baby because it's my preferred position to cobbler's pose these days. So I'm just going to lift my legs back up, grab the outside edges of the feet, and then hold there. And then let go of the feet, let go of the legs, put the feet back down on the floor. We'll do just a gentle twist. We're not going to spend much time in the twist, but just kind of let the knees go to the right and then over to the left, like a windshield wiper, washing away the water. And just do one or two more, letting the knees go as far as you want them to go. And then we're going to end back in the center with the legs. Extend both legs out all the way. Let the arms rest just at your sides. Let your head relax down on your yoga mat. Let your whole body feel weighted down by kind of the efforts of your practice, mixed with a little bit of gravity. In that private lesson that I shared with one of you, you had mentioned having your palms open to receive. You might try that here. Palms open to the sky, open to face the ceiling. Like you're willing or ready to receive whatever it is that needs receiving. The calm and slowness and peace of this moment, maybe. The simplicity and kind of peacefulness of the music, perhaps. See if there's an area of your body that you might be holding a little bit of tension in. And could you ask that area of your body to gently relax? For me, it's usually my shoulders. Where is it for you? Stomach, hips, feet? Maybe it's your shoulders too. So we've reached the end of our class together today. I want to thank you so much for attending. If you're here in the live session, it's always such a pleasure to see you and to move through the sequence together right here, right now. As always, the class will be uploaded to the website. I hope it comes at a good time for you if you're viewing it that way. Thanks again. I will see you soon. Namaste.